What's up, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and the Renaissance family? Thank you once again. I hope you all had a very, very wonderful holiday, Thanksgiving, that is. I know that this is coming out on Sunday, so if you guys had a reasonably long weekend, it's coming to an end in a few short hours. I know, I feel it. And we're ready for the next week. So hopefully you guys have held up or done your part of the challenge, I guess I should say. So there's as a reminder for everybody, we're doing a 6-part series. Last part, the first part was last week, where we're changing our lifestyle. We're changing the way we do things. And the first part is we need to set up a habit, and that habit is 21 days of an activity, 21 running of that activity. So the first part is we are all, including myself, because this is what I looked like last year for those who are on YouTube, and this is what I look like now. And as we all probably can attest to, sometimes we're not really happy with the way that we look. So as we close out this year and we start going into next year, I want to give us all a head start. I want to get us running towards that finish line, that goal that we want to be at. And when I really evaluated what I had done last year to lose 96 pounds, and what I did to lose it, as well as what it took to derail me, I came up with a lot of different things, and I came up with this plan or process. So the first part of the process, once again, last week was 7 days of an activity 3 times a week. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it was. Just the process of building that habit 3 times this last week. I went to the gym 3 times. I also walked my dogs about 1.5 miles, 2 miles a day for roughly, like I said, 5 of the 7 days. It was 1 or 2 days where I just didn't do it, and I'm a bad dog owner, I know, but I digress. So this week's challenge, right, is to continue with those 3 days. If you did 5 minutes, try to do 10 minutes, or if you did 10 minutes, do 15, so on and so forth. Just a little bit more intensity, a little bit harder. You may be sore, but now let's feather in the eating, right? For the better part of, I guess, the last half of my life, since roughly 22 years old-ish, 22, 23-ish, I've been on a constant battle with my weight. And as soon as I got out of the military, I was like, I'm never going to work out again. I'm never going to have somebody tell me what to do, blah, 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 right? Bitter. And so I then began the fight, and I'm obviously losing that fight, because as I lose the weight, I'll lose 10, I'll gain 20, lose 20, I gain 40. And it's been like this yo-yo, which is not healthy for me. But I've learned in all of those years that there are things that I could do differently. And every time I fall, you fall. Remember, fall forward, fall often. That's the only way we learn and we win. So I've fallen again, but in this iteration of falling, I have learned yet again more about myself. And it's okay, right? It's a journey, right? It's not so much the destination, it's the journey. And so we talk about food, and I'm going to talk heavily about a specific eating style that I choose to eat by. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I'll also compare it to the one that's very similar to, and I'll give you some insight or some stats about it and some links that you can kind of get into and look at it. And it's called keto or ketogenic diet. So the ketogenic diet is basically you are taking your body into a state called ketosis, and that state, it is going to then start looking for fat stores in your body to survive. You're basically tricking your body. So your body almost believes it's starving in a way, because it's not getting the sugars from the carb, because it's powering everything through sugars right now. And when it has too, I don't need any more sugar, it then stores it away, because your body is naturally trying to make sure that you never starve, right? Or that you can survive. And so when it does that, you end up with big fat stores. Generally, men have like the big, the belly or the gut or the love handles. Women will probably accumulate weight in the gut or in the legs. And and then it can go into the arms, and then the under part of the face. Mine is always here in my face, like in my jowls. For those of you listening, I'm on, and you come over to YouTube, take a look, like, subscribe, add a comment, but you can see what I'm talking about. It's in the jowls, right, and also in my stomach, not really in my legs or anything else. But anyway, so the ketogenic diet is doing that. And in the early 2000s, I did what was called the Atkins diet. And within that Atkins diet, it's very similar to the keto diet, where you do what's called a low carb. So everybody says, oh my God, you're doing a low carb diet. And that's not healthy. Well, there's a couple of different schools of thought now, more now than there was before. And the two different schools of thought believe that, and for certain situations, ketogenic diet is the best thing. If you have diabetes, if you are carbohydrate or carb intolerant, you have some different ailments, roughly around like ADHD or focus problems, things like that, a ketogenic diet may actually be what works for you. Now, let me pause for just a second and say I am not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a nutritionist. I have no certifications in weight loss or training, so I want to be clear about that. But I will tell you, this is my experience in doing this, and my experience in 20 years of fighting this. I sometimes discount the individual who is never had an eating problem, and they look at me and they go, come on, all you got to do is this. And I'd really subsequently want to flip them the bird and say, just take a long walk off a short pier. I'm being very real with y'all, because how do you know the mile that I've walked unless you've walked in a mile similar, unless you've been overweight, unless you fought it? You don't know. You can't know, right? You don't know, how we see food. You don't know what it feels like wanting to be thinner, not to attract the opposite sex or even same sex, whatever, you're whichever way you go, but it's just to wake up and feel okay. They don't know what it's like to walk up a set of stairs and your knees hurt because you're too big. Nobody knows what it's like to lay in bed and your back hurts because the bed is too soft and your weight is pushing you this way or that way. Nobody knows unless you're there. Okay? Now there's different extremes, right? When you get the large like myself, and then you got the one where it's even less, and you got less and less. But regardless, this is a conversation about what it's going to take to put you in a position or in a situation that you can look at the mirror and love yourself and be yourself, whatever that weight is, whatever that style is, and be the healthiest you can be. So for me, I understand that my weight that I can live that balance is roughly about 210-ish, 205 to 210. And one, it's sustainable. 2, I'm active. And 3, I'm happiest with the way that I look at that weight. I've been there, just touched it for a few weeks and then kind of gone away from it. Right now, to be completely transparent, I'm over 310 pounds right now, actually 311 pounds right now. And since I started our journey together, it was 316, and now I'm down to 310, 311. And so, roughly. So I want to say that ketogenic diet worked well for me. But what I learned at that point when I lost the 96 pounds last year was that it was a combination of the physical activity, creating a habit. It was also a combination of the eating. It was also the combination of, those 2 items. Now, the third item, or the third leg of that stool, I didn't learn until this year. And you may go, well, Jay, you're kind of dumb because it's taken you 20 years to figure this out. Maybe, honestly, it's absolutely possible. But I'm going to say that the third leg of this stool, right? So the exercise, which if you go to the doctor's going to say, you got to take in less carbs than you got to take in fewer carbs than you're actually burning. That's partly true. And then the other part of it they're going to say is depending on what you eat. And that's also partly true. Depending upon your body, depending upon your makeup, you may do different things differently. With a ketogenic diet, you may be 20 grams to get into what's called ketosis, where your body is burning the fat, whether you're working out or not, or it may be more. Maybe you can go with 30. Okay. I have to be very strict. I have to be at 20 or less, which is inordinately difficult. Okay. You also have to, which is unlike the Atkins diet, it isn't just eat all the non-carby items possible and then forget any of the greens. Actually, and eat like steak. It's actually different. It's a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet, where Atkins is more of a high fat, low carb, go on from there. Okay. Also, Atkins is a tiered, so it's like less than 20 grams for phase 1, 20 to 30 or 40 for phase 2, and it tapers up. So when I lost this weight in the early 2001, 2002, I was doing essentially a ketogenic diet and never maintained. It went from 15 to 20 grams to as much as I wanted in terms of carbs. And when that happens, just like this time, you end up getting a ton of weight really, really quickly. So as quickly as you lose it, you will gain it back again. So I've learned, right, that there's some things that you have to work on as well. The third leg of that is right up here. It's upstairs. It's in your brain. You have to look at food differently. I know I do. Food isn't, food is fuel. But I know when we are sad or down sometimes, especially here in the holiday season, if you're a single parent, if you're separated from the one you love, if you just got dumped, if you don't have your kids with you, whatever the case may be, you're going to be a little down. You're going to be a little low. I was down on Friday last week when I had to drop off my daughter. I was low on Wednesday when I was thinking I would, or Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, when I didn't know I was going to have my daughter or not on Thanksgiving. It was rough. I was sad. It was like this time last year I had the world almost, and I just kind of feel like I threw it away sometimes. So the third leg is for you. And now last year I thought I was doing it for me, and I was legitimately, but I forgot the last part of that third leg, which is making sure that nobody steals your light, your thunder, your shine, what made you happy. By telling you things. Oh my God, you're being selfish. Oh my God, you're doing this. Oh my God, you're doing that. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right? Because people are going to cut you down when they themselves, and listen when I say, when they themselves are not happy with who they are, or they want to bring you down to their level. So you need to identify those people early on in this process and cast them out. Maybe mid next year, you're strong enough you can bring them back. But I wasn't at that point. January roughly of this year, I was, lifting 230 pounds, running 3-4 miles a day, running not a marathon. Ugh, I wish I was running a 5K and, feeling good. And then somebody said, it's okay. You'll be 335 pounds before you know it. Peace out. Good luck. Have a good one with that one. Ha ha. Yeah. And I had so much self-loathing at that point where I was like, yeah, I'm not good enough. Maybe I am. They're right. Oh my God, they're right. Oh my God, they're right. This, that, and the other. Next thing you know, I'm not working out. I'm eating the wrong foods and all this. And this is probably sounds familiar to you, right? You're down. You're sad, right? I was down. I was sad. Did I need to eat an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's? Furthermore, did I need to eat 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's? No. Did it anyway. That's the impulsivity part of ADHD, which that's a whole nother series that we're going to be talking about in early 2021. But now I stopped working out, I am eating not just carbs, I'm eating a massive amount of carbs, massive amount. I don't care if you were working out. There's no way you would have worked off all the carbs that I was eating. And then you also go into your body is now, it is eating the fat because there is no sugar or carbs. Carbs turns to sugar. Okay. There is no sugar in your system essentially. Right. And when it doesn't have enough sugar, it feels like it's going to starve. So it eats the fat, so on and so forth. You're really not starving. And then, so then all of a sudden you have massive amounts of sugar. Your body is now going, I ain't let this happen again. You are not going to starve me again. And then it grabs it and it stores it. So when I say this, be very careful if you do the keto or ketogenic or low carb diet, because if you're not strong and you don't follow all of the process, you don't do the workout, you don't change your mental outlook, And then you do this whole process. You will lose the weight. Someone will kick you off the curb, and you'll fall into the street and get run over by the truck or whatever of whatever is you're dealing with in life. And you're going to end up gaining all that weight back, and then you're going to feel 10 times worse, as I have for the last 6 to 7 months. So, with that being said, if you like this content, please hit like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for joining me at The Renaissance Daddy. We're talking about what we need to do in this holiday season to keep this weight off, right? To take the weight off, not to gain weight, to get a head start on those New Year's resolutions that everybody's going to be talking about on January 1, going, I'm going to work out and be the fittest person in the world. And then by February 1st, they all fall off. So we're going to beat that rush. Renaissance family, we're going to beat that rush. Okay? So anyway, so we get into the ketogenic diet. This is the second 7 days. So what I want you guys to do is continue working out. Do your 3 workouts, 4 workouts, right? Investigate the ketogenic diet. See if it's right for you. Go talk to your doctor if you need to. But let's just try this. Cut down on the carbs that you eat. If you eat 2 potatoes, just eat 1, right? French fries, I should say, right? Try to specify, get into the greens more, right? Your salads and your vegetables, right? If you're going to eat carbs, eat your carbs from there. Okay, corn is a full-on carb, just the one to let everybody know. It is a big one. I love corn. But, so focus on your cheeses, your chickens, your steak, your salad, your broccoli, whatever the case may be. Focus on those items, and you're going to be amazed at what happens. So now we're going to take the second 7 days, right? We took the first 7 days and we went and worked out, or we did some kind of physical activity for 3 times. Now this week, I want to go 4 times this week, right? Amp it up. If we did 10 minutes, do 15. If you did 15, do 30. Amp it up. Take it to the next level, right? Because at the end of 21 workouts, at the end of 21 days of eating right, we're going to develop a habit. And in this entire time that we're going to develop a new mental outlook on food. And that is this. Food is nothing more than fuel. It may make you feel good. It doesn't. If you think it does, take that out of your brain. It isn't food that's making you feel good. Food is the sugar, and it is tricking your mind. I can guarantee you one thing without a doubt, because I did it and I forgot it, and I'm going to learn it again and teach myself again. The joy and the happiness you will feel after doing a long workout will far exceed the joy you will feel from eating a candy bar or eating a sandwich or bread or mashed potatoes or a meal, because there is no guilt. So go, hit the elliptical, go for a walk, go for a swim, go to a gym, don't go to a gym, lift weight, do something, be active. And if you have ADHD, you will be amazed as to how much your focus will increase. You'll be amazed as to how much you can actually accomplish, understand, and make happen. Combine that with the behavioral, combine that with your medication. Whoa, it's amazing. That's a true statement from me, who I've gone through it, I've done it. And the last piece we're going to continue to work on is if there's somebody negative or toxic in your life, kick them out. If you have somebody that says, you can't do it, get rid of them. You don't need them. You do not need them. If you have somebody who doesn't believe in you, get rid of them. I'll see you in 6 months. I'll see you in 8 months. I'll see you in a year. Get rid of them. You don't need them. Okay? So let's do it together. All right? And thank you once again for following us over here to The Renaissance Daddy. As I mentioned before, The Renaissance Daddy under a new umbrella under jsanchez.com, which is coming out here in the next week. And under that new brand of Jay Sanchez, we're also going to have product reviews under the Toro Tech. We're going to have some, we're looking at some children's books we're putting out. We're looking at some poetry and things along those lines. And we're also going to be doing some photography and a whole lot of different content and a lot of different channels to really diversify this family into different ways to really be that Renaissance dad, that Renaissance individual in the world. So without further ado, we're going to keep it short. Get to the gym 3 to 4 times this week, amp it up, extra 5-10 minutes, and let's start eating the right way. Let's start it tomorrow on Monday. Whatever you choose, look at the links in the description, take a read. If you have diabetes, ADHD, you're carbohydrate intolerant, please take a look. It may help you. So from my heart to yours, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learn a lot. Like, comment, smash a subscribe. And as always, if you're on YouTube, please add that comment, like. If you're on Google Podcasts, come on out to YouTube. If you're on Apple, subscribe. Google, subscribe. Spotify, subscribe. Everybody come on out to YouTube. Let's do it together. Let's see us together. Add comments. How many times you worked out? What are you doing to eat? Maybe keto isn't the best and you have a different experience. Add it to the comments. Teach me something as well. All right? So as always, do better, be better, because that's right, we know better. Once again, this is the Renaissance Daddy. Love ya. Keep it real. Peace.